It's a beautiful evening in St. Louis, Missouri. Cubs and Cardinals will kick off a three-game series tonight. It's the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN Sports as the Cubs start a six-game road trip. And hi again, everyone. Welcome to the leadoff man. I'm Len Casper. The Cubs with an off day yesterday after a 4-1 homestand. The Cardinals just got swept by the Milwaukee Brewers. They are struggling. Let's check out the updated National League Central standings. The Brewers are in Houston tonight, but they'll be without their second baseman, Ricky Weeks, for the rest of the year. He has a wrist injury. St. Louis battling some injuries, but they're going to get Chris Carpenter and Rick Ankiel back tomorrow. And this is a big series, as always, when the Cubs and Cardinals play. They have split the season series to this point, 3-3. We'll be back with more on the leadoff man, but as we go to break, let's check out today's Hyundai dealer of the game, World Hyundai in Matson, Illinois.
The Hyundai leadoff man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. Always a home run with America's best warranty. And now, Hyundai Assurance.
Check.
Strength meets intelligence. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
It's a fork.
You're a wombat.
Honey, it's the pizza guy.
Sure.
Me again.
Okay, now this is the last time, all right?
Thanks. You know, we don't deliver anything like this as crispy flatbread. Totally. Are you having like a party or something? Hello?
Introducing the taste that's never been delivered. DiGiorno Crispy Flatbread Pizza. For deliciously Italian-inspired toppings on crispy flatbread crust, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Hello, I don't think we've met.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Feeling back pain? Dr. Scholl's Back Pain Relief Orthotics with shock guard technology give you immediate relief that lasts all day long. Dr. Scholl's pain relief is a step away.
Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. The finish you want, the value you're looking for.
Welcome back to Busch Stadium. This is the home of the 2009 All-Star Game. Cubs come in 9-8 overall on the road. The Cardinals 12-8 at home, but again, they just got swept here over the weekend against Milwaukee. Time now to see who's in the zone, brought to you by AutoZone. Derek Lee with 4 hits. Unfortunately, it ended up being a loss for the Cubs, but his 24th career 4-hit game, his first of 2009. That's who's in the zone, brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. We'll preview the starting pitchers when we come back.
Logic says you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation. Better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
There's no greater joy than giving to your kids for their first tooth, first steps, first set of wheels, first day of practice. But only one gift protects a lifetime of firsts. Life insurance from New York Life ensures your loved ones will always be taken care of. With 164 years of financial strength, it's the most selfless gift you can give. New York Life, the company you keep.
Now is the time you're wondering, who's going to win? You or the swimsuit? Good thing you know that the Special K Challenge can help you lose an inch off your waist in 2 weeks. Now enjoy a greater variety of delicious ways to help you reach your goal. Are you ready to meet your swimsuit challenge? Go to Yahoo, search Special K to design your victory plan.
Regrouting my shower.
And?
Made a lot of trips.
3?
5.
Too many. Got what you need?
Do now.
Give it a full day before you use the shower.
Did not know that.
Do now.
Got lots to clean up.
Got hefty drawstring bags $4.99, half off.
My yard's kind of dark at night.
Be a lot brighter with solar lights, 50% off, 6 for only $11.99. Hurry, sale ends Saturday.
This conversation
never happened.
For the right tools, products, and advice, True Value. Start right. Start here.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. Always a home run with America's best warranty. And now, Hyundai Assurance.
On the mound tonight, Ted Lilly with 5 wins. He's tied for first in the National League in victories. 3-0 in the month of May for right-hander Joel Pinheiro. Just the opposite. 4-0 in April, but 0-3 to start May. He has won both of his decisions here at home. We're set. Cubs and the Cardinals are making some bats here. Hopefully the Cubs bats will be a little louder tonight. Stick around. We'll have game 1 of this series next.
Here's Ryan getting ready to make his approach. To the men's room.
Looks like he needs to go urgently.
True. And there's Casey about to drive, also to the men's room.
He has been going over and over.
Now Wilson, 3rd time today, says he's going a lot at night, too.
Yes, I'm afraid he thinks it's par for the course.
They ought to see their doctors.
Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
And call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Do you two want to sit together?
No, that's just the money I could be saving with Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's the money you could be saving with Geico. You were made for each other. You like money. He likes money. Well, he is money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This summer, team up with WGN America and Six Flags, the official theme park of the Chicago Cubs, for WGN America's Six Flags Summer Six-Pack Sweepstakes. Just log on to WGNAmerica.com for your chance to win 6 tickets to any Six Flags park nationwide. That's right, win 6 tickets and an exclusive VIP experience to any Six Flags park. Hurry and log on to WGNAmerica.com for your chance to win today. One lucky winner will win every week from now through Labor Day.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
This is a pretty familiar view to a lot of Cub fans driving across the Mississippi and into St. Louis, the gateway to the West. We're set for Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports from Busch Stadium. It's game one of a 3-game series, and for the Cubs, a 6-game road trip. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. A couple of clubs battling some injuries here as of late. The Cubs' record, however, has been a lot better than the Cardinals here.
Well, and I think that's because the Cubs are better suited to withstand those injuries. If you think about the Cardinals, it's all about Albert Pujols and who protects him in the lineup. Without Ryan Ludwig, without Rick Ankiel, the Cardinals have really struggled over their last 10 ball games, as opposed to the Cubs without Rasmus Ramirez, without Carlos Zambrano. A few guys not hitting up to their career numbers. They've still been able to rattle off 7 victories in their last 10.
And Big Z will be back on Friday against the Padres. Chris Carpenter is going to be back tomorrow. Rick Ankiel could be back as well.
Well, you know the Cardinals are going to be a good club when they get everybody back healthy and firing on all cylinders. So until that happens, take advantage.
All right, we're set, and some superstar caliber offensive players in this one. Albert Pujols, the focus of the Cardinals offense, and Alfonso Soriano off to a terrific start as the Cubs leadoff man. Game one of this series coming at you next.
That hits the spot. It's drinkability. It means Bud Light is good wherever you are. If you're at a party, or playing golf, like those guys, or at the bar. Draw another door. Don't say draw.
Never filling, always refreshing. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
7 aces. Amy and I are gonna go grab a cab. Did you get any extra, you know?
I've only got one left.
Having a big night? Alka-Seltzer's the speedy way to relieve indigestion, heartburn, and headache.
Still hungry?
Check.
Strength meets intelligence. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
When we first bought the house, the lawn was nothing but brown. So I called my father-in-law. He's really good with the lawn. He knows exactly what to do.
Well, I told him to use Scott's Turf Builder. And he said, well, I got this stuff. I took it, threw it in the garbage. Cheaper brands have filler, sand, gravel, stuff you don't want on your lawn. Scott's Turf Builder is pure food. Every granule is 100% nutrition. You get what you pay for every time. See what happens, Chris, when you listen to your father-in-law? He's getting the hang of it now.
I still think I got the better lawn.
Me. I don't care what he says.
All food, no filler. That's the Scott's advantage.
I was always sluggish and tired. Now I feel full of energy. My body feels better than it has in years.
My digestive tract is happy.
Kellogg's All-Bran puts natural wheat bran fiber to work for you. In just 10 days, All-Bran cleanses your system to help your body work a little better, leaving you feeling lighter, happier, and more energetic. The Kellogg's All-Bran 10-Day Promise. Put us to work for you.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste that never fills you up, the difference is drinkability. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Dodge dealers. To find the dealer nearest you, visit DodgeRockChicago.com. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit RefreshEverything.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit Southwest.com today.
You're watching the Chicago Cubs on WGN Sports. Cubs baseball in beautiful high definition is sponsored by Comcast. We're about ready to play baseball here. Let's see if we can sneak in the Cubs Pepsi lineup as written out by Lou Piniella. Soriano, Terrio, Fukudome at the top. Lee with a big day on Sunday. Bradley, Fontenot, Soto. Then you have Aaron Miles, the former Cardinal. Ted Lilly, the pitcher. Pepsi, refresh everything. Joel Pinheiro pitches to Alfonso Soriano. A called strike. And we're underway. .75 degrees here in St. Louis. 1-1 the count. Couldn't dial it up any better, particularly here, where it can get really hot and humid, even in May. Into left, that's a base hit right in front of Chris Duncan. So Soriano is aboard as we'll check in on the rest of the Cardinal D.
Well, we know Chris Duncan's out in left field. He's a truck driver. Beware. Center field, Colby Rasmus. Right field, Nick Stavanoa. Let's take a look around the infield. Brian Barden, Brendan Ryan on the left side. Joe Thurston and Albert Pujols on the right side. Yadier Molina once again doing the catching tonight for the Cardinals. And he'll be receiving pitches from right-hander Joel Pinheiro. Pinheiro has a 4-pitch mix, fast curve, slider, change. He's basically fastball, slider to the righties, fastball, curveball, change up to the lefties. As Len mentioned earlier, he won his first 4 starts of the year, but he's lost his last 3, and he's had trouble missing bats recently.
Runner at first. Nobody out. Just underway. And Pinheiro checks on Soriano. You see he had a perfect first month, but yet to win this month, and that kind of mirrors their entire staff. Called strike. Their starters were excellent in the first month. 13-2 with a 3.26, but they're 2-10 with a 5.97 in May. Their bullpen has been a lot better this month. They certainly could use some help in their rotation, and they'll get it when their erstwhile ace will be back, Chris Carpenter. He's been on the disabled list with an oblique injury.
And even though the Cardinals will be ecstatic to have Chris Carpenter back, there has to be some concern. Those oblique injuries tend to rear their ugly head several times throughout the course of the season. Seems to be the trendy injury this year, the oblique. Or rib cage muscle, or even a little bit lower, just above the love handles for those of us who feature love handles.
Why don't they call it a strained love handle? Yeah. Well, Carpenter said he's not just going to be an easy out, give up those at bats. Carlos Zambrano and Chris Carpenter both going to the DL because of what they did offensively. Molina fires to first, got him. Wow. Look from here like he got back in, and Matt Sinatra thought he got back, but Brian Gorman brings up Soriano. That's a 3rd pickoff already on the year for Molina.
Boy, and it should be no surprise whatsoever to the Cubs base runners as we get another look. Soriano clearly got his hand back on the bag ahead of the tag there. Coming back to the backside of the base like we talk about all the time. That's a bad call by Brian Gorman down at first base. Hopefully that won't affect the outcome of this game.
Bounce to third, backhanded play by Brian Barden, and just like that, 2 outs and nobody on. The crew chief is back at the plate. That's Jerry Davis. He was born here in St. Louis, but now lives in Wisconsin. So it's up to Kosuke to keep this inning alive. He's been getting on base this year at a .454 clip. That's good for 3rd in the National League. Getting over 400 on the road. Over 400 with runners in scoring position. He's hit for power this year. Basically, Bob, he's been an excellent number 3 hitter. There hasn't been much of a weakness in his offensive game this season.
Not at all. And the rest of his game has been there, too. He's played great defense, whether it's been in center field or right field. Been a heads-up base runner.
One hopper backhanded by Brendan Ryan, and the dig at the other end by Pujols. And that ends the Cubs first. Big pickoff by Molina. And the Cardinals will take their hacks against Ted Lilly next.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Introducing Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby.
Maybe your own price, huh?
Yeah, they want $200 for a 4-star on the Vegas Strip. I'm going $190.
Oh, you wuss.
What?
Go lower.
$160?
Namby-pamby.
$99.
Now you're negotiating.
At Priceline, find half-price hotels every day. Save up to half off Expedia's best price and Hotels.com's best price on over 16,000 hotels. Find half-price hotels every day at Priceline.
From Wagner comes a revolution in power painting. Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. Wagner's new project sprayer with Optimus dual tip technology is now a great value at the Home Depot for under $60.
Now the Cardinal lineup got some changes in there. Khalil Green's struggling, so Brendan Ryan's in there at short. Rasmus Ferenkiel in center. We know about Albert Pujols. Look what he's done at this ballpark. Molina cleans up with Ludwig out. Duncan in left. Stabanoa, the rookie, in right. Barden at third. The pitcher hits eighth. They've done that a handful of times this year. And Joe Thurston will bat ninth.
Check out the Cubs defensively tonight behind Ted Lilly, brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, refresh everything. Soriano, Fukudome, and Bradley once again across the outfield. Mike Fontenot at third base did a lot of extra work in the cage earlier today for his offense. Terrio will be playing shortstop. Aaron Miles at second base. Derek Lee over at first. Giovanni Soto once again catching for left-hander Ted Lilly. He's had a decision in every one of his 7 starts this year. 4 of those 7 starts, he did not walk a batter. Won 3 of those games.
Right now, Bob, there's a 9-way tie for first in the National League in wins with 5. So maybe Ted can separate himself from the pack by getting his 6th here tonight. 3-0 at Busch Stadium with a low ERA under 240. 3 balls and a strike. One thing Ted has done, while he has allowed 9 home runs, he hasn't walked many. But he's behind 3-1 on the Cardinal leadoff man, Brendan Ryan, and he just walked him. Not the first time we've seen this. Sometimes it takes Ted a couple of batters to get settled in. And it'll bring up left-handed hitting Colby Rasmus.
Well, and as always, when you play the St. Louis Cardinals and Albert Pujols is in the lineup, which is pretty much every day, you have to point out the fact that you need to limit the damage. No free passes ahead of Albert. Try to retire those first 2 hitters in the order so that he comes up to the plate with nobody on base as often as possible.
The Cubs have won 5 of 6. They won every game on the last homestand, but the finale on Sunday. Team arrived around 5:30 yesterday afternoon / evening, and about an hour and a half later the Cardinals played the Brewers in that makeup game, and they lost that one. So St. Louis, after beginning the year 17-7, has gone 4-10. Rasmus bunting. How about a first inning sacrifice, Bob? I don't think we would have seen that from the Cardinals earlier in the year, and we might not see it if they're at full strength.
And I'm not sure that was called for by Tony La Russa from the bench. Colby Rasmus has really been struggling against the left-handed pitching, hitting only .080, 2 for 25.
Tony didn't look too thrilled there.
The
sometimes a hitter will take it upon himself if he feels he's a little bit overmatched against a certain pitcher on a given night, especially those lefty-on-lefty matchups. He'll try to drop that bunt down for a base hit, and as it works out, it's a good sacrifice moving the runner to second base.
So a runner at second for Pujols, and the slow curve is taken for strike one. Albert was the National League Player of the Month in April. Fastball in there at the knees. He had 337 in April. Knocked in 28. Not like he's had a bad May. 5 homers and 9 knocked in. Bouncing in front of the plate. That's not a bad pitch at all. I mean, you're facing Albert Pujols, so you don't want to give him a cookie on an 0-2.
That's right where Giovanni Soto wanted it, that 0-2 pitch. You hope to get Albert to chase something out of the strike zone, which he rarely does, but occasionally when he gets into a little bit of an offensive funk, you can get him to swing at those pitches with a 2-strike count.
Certainly teams are not afraid to walk Pujols in this spot. Well, the man in scoring position. Lilly from the third base side of the rubber. And that one missed. Albert with a very good eye at the plate.
How good? 24 walks on the season against only 12 strikeouts. Curveball just didn't quite get down enough to get into that strike zone. As a matter of fact, he's hit 13 home runs this season, and he's only struck out 12 times. Amazing.
That is. Outfield playing pretty deep, particularly in center. Kosuke way out there, and a pop-up in foul territory, and Giovanni Soto circling and catching. So they get Pujols on the foul out, 2 down. Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF. Yadier Molina into that cleanup spot with Ryan Ludwig on the disabled list. Molina just 2 for his last 17. Ludwig with a right hamstring injury. He's missed the last 5 games. And during this stretch, the Cardinals have only scored 13 runs with Ludwig out. Lilly trying to keep Ryan stranded there at second. And then he fakes the throw toward that bag.
You know, Len, normally when you talk about any offensive category for the Cardinals, you assume that Albert Pujols is the leader in that category. But Yadier Molina is their best hitter with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. A .429 batting average. Ted Lilly hoping to lower that a little bit. I'm going to talk it over with Giovanni Soto just to make sure they know what they want to do here. Now, you do have the left-handed hitting Chris Duncan in the on-deck circle. Normally you wouldn't pitch around or intentionally walk a guy in the first inning of a ball game, but you definitely want to be careful with the right-handed hitting Molina with the left-handed hitting Duncan on deck.
Well, last time these two guys hooked up, Ted Lilly ran over Yadier Molina. That was last year. That was on September 10th. His left thigh bruise, and Molina ended up appearing in just 2 games the rest of the year. Ryan takes off for third, and Fontenot didn't want to vacate his spot. That's a stolen base for Brendan Ryan. He's 3 for 3 on the year.
I'm puzzled to see what the difference is between this play and a defensive indifference at second base when nobody breaks to cover the bag and the catcher doesn't throw. That time Mike Fontenot didn't move from his position. Cubs determined they didn't want their infielders to be out of position with the right-handed hitting Molina at the plate, so they just held their spots and let Ryan run from second to third base.
Well, it's why I don't like defensive indifference at all. If a guy steals a base, he steals a base. But we're not in charge, thankfully. And there's a base hit, so Molina continues to hit with runners in scoring position, and he gives St. Louis a 1-0 lead. Well, in the end, that sacrifice bunt by Colby Rasmus worked out well for the Cardinals.
Most of the time when you see good numbers with the runner in scoring position, it's because the offensive player is willing to give up the pull field and hit the ball from gap to gap, from left center to right center. Most of the pitches that you get in that situation, you're going to be able to handle back up the middle of the field, and that time Molina just guided that pitch straight into center field.
And Molina not being held by Derek Lee as Chris Duncan takes ball one. Lefties are just 4 for 23 on the year against Ted Lilly, so there haven't been that many at bats by lefties, but we've seen Rasmus and now Duncan, and Joe Thurston's playing second and batting ninth. Outside corner strike. Don't have to throw it if you take that back foot off.
Yeah, very little chance Molina's going to run, but you still don't want to allow him to get a walking lead over there where maybe he could steal a base.
One ball and 2 strikes.
That time Ted did the right thing. Just hold the ball until Molina stops dancing over there at first base. If he has to try to run from a standing start, very little chance he's going to steal any bases.
Well, you may recall last year Ted Lilly had a lot more trouble against lefties than righties. Righties hit just .219 against him. Lefties .307. Called strike 3 on the curveball, but it's been a drastic change versus southpaws this year. Molina knocks in the first run. It's 1-0.
You do get a hint of drinkability right away.
Does my pen have writability?
Come on, people. We gotta focus. We're not leaving until we've met our budget. We need ideas.
We could cut back on marketing.
We could eliminate bonuses.
How about we stop buying Bud Light for every meeting?
It's the only beer with just the right taste. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
It was a joke!
Feeling back pain? Dr. Scholl's back pain relief orthotics with shock guard technology give you immediate relief that lasts all day long. Dr. Scholl's pain relief is a step away.
Are you ready for the digital world? By June 12th, Antenna TV will be all digital. Remember to rescan your converter box or digital TV set, especially after June 12th. By rescanning, your TV set will find all the channels available in your area.
If you can stomach it, Take a look at our high-def shot of the game, sponsored by Comcast. Cubs baseball in high definition is sponsored by Comcast.
There ought to be a dress code at this ballpark. At least for that guy.
Yeah. Yes, a painted on shirt doesn't count. You have to wear a real one. Derek Lee leading off the Cubs second. That's a strike. Derek likes facing Joel Pinheiro, 6 for 10, 3 doubles and a home run. Oh, 2 is too low. Took Pinheiro just 12 pitches in the first inning. Got helped by his catcher, who gunned down Soriano at first on a pickoff play. Big day on Sunday for Derek with 4 hits. Like to carry that into the road trip. He's hitting 108 away from Wrigley. Certainly will help everybody when Rasmus is back in the lineup, but still going to be some time before he even can get into baseball activities with the dislocated left shoulder. Ground ball, base hit. I think it's 7 for 11 against Pinheiro for D. Lee.
Well, it's good to see Aramis Ramirez and Carlos Zambrano back with the ball club. Obviously, we miss the physical things they do on the field and the numbers they provide, but you talk a lot about team chemistry and how everything fits together, and it's always good to have your superstar players on the bench and in that clubhouse, even if they're not able to play, just for what they bring to the table. Some of the younger guys look to them for guidance. Talking about the opposing pitcher that night. How has he pitched you in the past? Talking about opposing hitters. Good source of information, those veteran guys.
1 strike on Milton Bradley. Too low, ball 1, 1-1. Let's see, Bradley did not play in the series in St. Louis back in late April. Getting his first hacks in this ballpark. He's starting to heat up. So is Giovanni Soto. We mentioned Derek Lee. One guy Lou focused on in the pregame talk with reporters is a guy on deck, Mike Fontenot. Broken bat grounder. They'll try to turn 2. They'll get 2. 4-6-3 on the double play. The barrel of the bat ended up near the pitcher's mound as Milton Bradley got sawed off big time.
Yeah, I don't think Pinheiro ever saw the barrel of the bat. He was following the flight of the ball, turned his head away, and only at the last minute did he see that barrel coming his direction. Pretty easy double play right there for the Cardinals. You're talking about Mike Fontenot. I had a chance to talk to Gerald Perry, the hitting instructor for the Cubs, before the game. They had a long session in the cage underneath that third base side of the field today, working on a few things specifically. Gerald felt that Mike was getting his balance too far back on his heels. Now, we know from earlier this season, Mike drove the ball to left center field with authority. He hit some home runs the opposite way, but lately his best shot to left field has been a lazy fly ball, and Gerald felt it was because his balance. He was too far back on his heels. He was reaching for those pitches from the middle of the plate away instead of driving them.
A little bit in between there, and that happens when you're in a funk like he's in. 1 for his last 29. One-two pitch. High bouncer, not hit hard. That almost kicked away from Pujols, but it actually took him right to first base. A pickoff and a double play helping out Pinheiro 1-0.
When I go bowling, my son always asks me if he can use gutter bumpers. Did you do that growing up? Or did you even have them?
They didn't have them when we were little, no.
Because my son, he always, Dad, can I use gutter? No, you can't. Well, how come? Because you're 9. Throw the ball straight, jackass.
That's it. Tough love. There are no gutter bumpers in life.
Basically, it's about sympathy.
I'm good.
Be honest here, man. Fuck it. I'm good.
My bad. I'm good.
I'm the man!
I'm good.
Ready? No.
Men can take anything.
I'm good.
Except the taste of Diet Cola. Until now, Pepsi Max, the first Diet Cola for men.
This is good.
He was meeting my friends for the first time. We knew the perfect place to go.
I guess I did okay.
I knew they'd love him.
Try Olive Garden's new lasagna rollatini with chicken and fontina cream sauce. Or try the savory sausage and tomato Alfredo, starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
From Wagner comes a revolution in power painting. Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. Wagner's new project sprayer with Optimus dual tip technology is now a great value at the Home Depot for under $60.
That's one monster case of athlete's foot. Hit that with Tough Act and Tenactin. It gets rid of your athlete's foot. Hey, it can even keep you from getting athlete's foot. Get boom, Tough Act and Tenactin.
Hey, Cub fans, tonight it's the season finale of 90210. Shannon Doherty and Jenny Garth, guest star. Adriana gives birth and Annie goes off the deep end. It all starts tonight at a special time. Season finale of 90210 tonight at 11:30 on WGN, Chicago's CW.
I like any show where somebody goes off the deep end. That's always entertaining.
And it's the show for you. 1 ball, 1 strike on rookie Nick Stavanoa playing right. Cardinals have used a major league high 11 rookies on the year, 7 currently on their roster, 5 making their major league debuts this season. Short fly to right. Bradley the catch. 1 out. Plan your next corporate function or family gathering in the comfort of the Wrigley Field Mezzanine Suites, presented by Nuveen Investments. Suites are available now for games during the season. Be sure to ask about the May incentives. To book your suite or for more information, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-Cubs. Ball 1 to Brian Barden. Another rookie. He got out of the gates very quickly. He was the National League Rookie of the Month for April. He had 389, but he has cooled off. We've said that about a lot of these Cardinals. One pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2.
I think that's a common ailment for young players. Get to the major league level, they have some initial success, and as we talk about all the time, the advanced scouts and the videotape catches up to them. People find the holes in their swing and start to go after them more consistently. And the good ones figure out a way to make an adjustment and keep those numbers up there, and sometimes you don't keep them up there and you go away.
Long, slow wind by Lilly and a high fly to right again. Miles gets out there quickly and he'll take it. And that brings up the number 8 hitter, the pitcher, Pinheiro. Just adding up the amount of times Tony's done it this year. He had Todd Wellemeyer in there in the 3rd game of the season. Mitchell Boggs hit there on the 6th of May. Wellemeyer again about a week ago, and then Kyle Loesch last night. So about the 5th time he's done it. He did it all of last season.
He originally started doing it when Mark McGwire was hitting in the 3rd spot for the Cardinals back in the day. Wanted to try to maximize the damage that his number 3 hitter could do, so he put another hitter in the 9 spot, slid the pitcher up 1 spot. And now with Albert Pujols being the guy anchoring that 3 hole in the Cardinals lineup, he does it occasionally this year.
I mean, Joe Maddon's taking it to an extreme, batting pitcher Andy Sonnenstein 3rd, called 3rd strike. Of course, that was a lineup gaffe the other day, but Sonnenstein knocked in a run with a double. 1-0 St. Louis after 2.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer. Bud Light Lime. Superior drinkability. Ultimate refreshment. A splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood. To keep that car running longer and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
I'm Ozzy Osbourne, and I'm the Prince of Darkness.
The Lich King is the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy.
Well, maybe you're the one who's been riding a crazy train, but I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1979.
There can be only one Prince of Darkness.
World of Warcraft. Try it for free at warcraft.com.
Rated T for teen.
It's the Samoan Bulldozer Umaga is inhuman. WWE Superstars. Expect everything.
Cub fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape for up-to-the-minute stats and information designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. The WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game. It's brought to you by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Ryan slings it across. Giovanni Soto makes it out on 1 pitch. Comes former Cardinal Aaron Miles. Bob, sometimes it's fun to ask switch hitters, when did you start switch hitting? And Aaron told me, he said, I've been doing it ever since I can remember. I mean, like before high school. But he said when he got to high school, his coach felt like he was a better hitter left-handed. Now, he's naturally right-handed except for at the plate. So his natural side at the plate is lefty. So he did not hit righty at all in high school, but once he got to the pros, he went back to switch hitting. And I also asked, have you ever batted righty against a knuckleballer like a lot of other switch hitters do? He said he has not done that. And he had a really good point. He said against the knuckleballer, because the ball moves in wild directions against both righties and lefties, he thinks most guys just bat from their best side, so to speak, whatever side they feel stronger from, and for him that's the left side.
Seems to make sense. And it may change over the course of a season. You may feel really locked in as a left-handed hitter when you face a knuckleball pitcher early in the season. Maybe you face him again later and you feel more locked in from the right side. So that seems to make sense. That knuckleball, I mean, there aren't not many in the major leagues anymore, but it's such an erratic pitch, and hitting coaches for years have been trying to figure out the formula for having success against a knuckleballer. I always felt just swing as hard as you can. Just in case it makes that last break right into the head of your bat.
Yeah.
And I used to get all the knuckleballers too, because they didn't want to mess up the other part of the platoon. You know, they figured they couldn't hurt my swing facing a knuckleballer.
So after he told me that he's a natural left-handed hitter, I said, "You play golf?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Left-handed?" "Nope." He's a right-handed golfer. I said, can you golf at all left-handed? He goes, "Yeah, but I can't hit it straight like I can from the right side." So, you know, those lefties are all messed up. Yep. Ted Lilly strikes out. That's a quick 1-2-3 for Pinheiro. 1-zip St. Louis.
My doctor told me something I never knew. As we get older, our bodies become less able to absorb calcium. He recommended Citracal. It's a different kind of calcium. Calcium citrate with vitamin D for unsurpassed absorption to nourish your bones.
Logic says you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation. Better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
If you're like a lot of people, you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol. You've taken steps to try and lower both your numbers, but how close are you to your goals? There may be more you can do. Only Catawet combines 2 proven medicines in a single pill to significantly lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. In a clinical study of patients with slightly elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, Catawet helped 48% reach both goals in just 4 weeks.
Catawit is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise, that you can discuss with your doctor. Catawit is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
How close are you to where you want to be? Ask your doctor if Catawit can help you go for both your goals.
Well, unlike the movie, I can't say I could throw a football over that arch, but I've been in it. Last year, I think it was on an off day. Took about 10 minutes to get to the top of the arch. Not a bad little trip.
I'll stay on the ground. Thank you very much.
I would say if you're claustrophobic, it's you might want to be sedated, but I enjoyed it. Can't come to St. Louis, you know, dozens of times and not go up the arch. 1 ball, no strikes on Joe Thurston.
You know, I've told the story many, many times up here in the broadcast booth. We have a great view of the arch from up here, as you see the observation windows at the very top. Did you sign your name up there anywhere with a Sharpie?
I did not.
Should have.
But those windows are, as you can kind of see, at an angle. I would say about a 45-degree angle. So when you look out, you kind of lean over and you can look straight down.
Oof.
Which I think is pretty neat. But if you're afraid of heights, again, you might want to be sedated.
Yeah. Well, I've said it for years. I think the state of Illinois, just to stick it to the city of St. Louis, ought to build a great big statue of a croquet player with black socks and sandals and plaid shorts and a croquet mallet and a ball laying on the bank on the other side of the river.
That one tomahawk foul. Oh, I can see it. Well, that'd have to be a huge statue.
Oh,
be
yeah.
the biggest ever.
With a Cubs hat on.
To Thurston. A wind in the pitch, and he walked him. Thurston sprinting down to first.
The 2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Huge crowd here in St. Louis as always, although we were talking before the game how odd it is to be here in the middle of the week. This is always a Friday, game one, Cubs Cards. And instead a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. We'll see the White Sox at Wrigley Field during the week, which I don't think has ever happened before.
Well, the thing about Wrigley Field is you can never tell if it's a weekday or a weekend by the crowd, because it's going to be a full house no matter what. More empty seats here than we're used to seeing at a Cardinal game.
Yeah, a few sections sparsely populated in the upper deck right near the foul poles.
Yeah, usually when you see an empty section it means a bus didn't show up.
They did a smart thing here. They made all the seats red. It's harder to see the empty ones. Not that I'm any sort of marketing whiz, but I never understood the NBA arenas where they had all the yellow seats. The old Forum was like that. Miami, boy, every empty seat stuck out like a sore thumb.
That's what makes it so easy to spot the Cubs fans in the crowd here. Cardinal fans obviously wearing their red. The seats are red, but when those seats are filled by a Cub fan, all you see is blue.
2-1 the count on Brendan Ryan. Second time in 3 innings Lilly has walked the leadoff man. He did it in the first, and Ryan, who took that walk, eventually came around to score. And it's 3-1 on him again. Ryan Dempster and Chris Carpenter tomorrow night. Carpenter will come off the DL. Sean Marshall and Adam Wainwright on Thursday. Cardinals might make a couple of moves with Rick Ankiel possibly coming back. That kicks away on ball 4. So Lilly has walked the first 2. Larry Rothschild will come out. Colby Rasmus coming up, and you know who is on deck.
Well, I think this meeting is going to have to do with pitch selection. A 3-1 pitch right there to the leadoff hitter Brendan Ryan. A breaking ball in the dirt. We talked about it in the first inning of the game. You want to minimize the damage that Big Albert can do. You got to go right after Brendan Ryan right there. Fastball down the middle of the plate. Try to force him to put that ball in play and let your defense work behind you.
Well, Colby Rasmus has hit 2 two-run homers his last 2 hits, and he had another one taken away on Friday because that game ended up being postponed. He hit one into the Allegheny River in Pittsburgh
way gone.
On Thursday. It was on the bounce, but clear out of the stadium. That is quite a poke.
Now, this guy has been the perennial prospect for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was their minor league player of the year in 07, 08, and then again picked this year as their minor league player of the year by Baseball America. Getting a lot of playing time now with all the injuries that the Cardinals have suffered.
Born in Columbus, Georgia, former first-round pick, and he skies to left. Soriano goes back. Now over a couple of steps. That's a big first out for Lilly.
After back-to-back walks, put 2 Cardinals on base with nobody out. Rasmus does Ted Lilly a favor, chases a high fastball up and out over the plate and lofts that lazy fly to Alfonso Soriano.
As we said in the first inning, the Rasmus sac bunt ended up playing to the Cardinals' advantage. We don't know if the sign was given or if he did it on his own, but if there was no sign, I suppose they weren't thrilled about that. And then he flies to left for the first out, as you said, after 2 walks. I'm sure, Bob, there have been things that have happened this year already that Tony La Russa hasn't had to deal with a ton over the past few years, but this is a much younger team than they're used to having.
And unless it's a very special young player, they're going to make mistakes at the big league level. They get caught up in what it is they're doing. Look up in the stands and see 40,000 plus people. Look in the on-deck circle behind you and see Albert Pujols, and your natural instinct is to go up there to the plate and make something happen. Swing the bat. That's what you've done throughout your minor league career. But in that particular situation, I'm sure that somebody on that Cardinals bench will remind Colby Rasmus that after back-to-back walks, with Albert hitting behind you, you got to make that guy throw a strike.
One and one. Or look at the pitch you swung at. That's a pitch you're going to hit the other way, and with nobody out, at least pull it and make it a productive out. Big spot for Lilly, down 1-0. Low for ball 2. Well, we talk all the time about how there are no absolutes in this game, and there are very few situations where you would tell a player, in this spot, you can never do this or never do that. But what it comes down to, more often than not, is you can do this in this spot, but make sure that you do X or Y.
Don't fail.
Right. You can swing at the first pitch after a guy has walked 2 in a row, but remember this or remember that. That's probably that sort of thing that a guy like Colby Rasmus will learn. Thurston, the lead runner at second. Ryan with a huge lead at first. Out in the center. This ball's not going to carry as Kosuke will take it. I loved Kosuke called off Soriano even though Alfonso was about 100 feet away. Just to make sure that communication was there.
And as always, tried to get behind the ball as best he could, regardless of the situation. Don't wait to see what the runner's going to do. That's what I love about Kosuke. He doesn't assume anything on a fly ball to the outfield. He tries to get behind the ball to make sure he's got some momentum on that throw to third base. He doesn't wait to see if the guy's running or not. He just comes up firing.
Well, in the first inning, Lilly got Pujols with a runner in scoring position, but he could not get Molina. We'll see if he can turn that around in this spot. A kick and the first pitch. A little bit inside. 1-0. Ted getting an extra day of rest at the scheduled off day yesterday. His last outing was Wednesday against the Padres. 6-4 win on a rain shortened night. And he has won all 3 of his starts this month. Wind was blowing straight out that night. He gave up 2 home runs to the red hot Adrian Gonzalez, but that was it. And unlike tonight, he was throwing all kinds of strikes. He didn't walk anybody. 1-1. Four wins away from 100 in his career. Nice block by Soto.
Nice job by Gio blocking that breaking ball down in the dirt. I've been keeping a close eye on Derek Lee down there at first base. As you mentioned, Brendan Ryan is getting a huge lead at first base. It appears to me, and I'm just guessing, but it appears to me Derek is trying to get Giovanni Soto's attention behind home plate to put some kind of a pickoff on. That's just really an instinctive thing from the defensive player. Sometimes it comes from the catcher. Sometimes it comes from the infielder. But if you get that guy out there in a position where you think you can sneak in behind him and get the throw down there in time, sometimes it's just showing the palm of your glove, touching the bill of your cap, touching your belt buckle. You're never quite sure what the sign is, but the catcher then has to return the sign to let the infielder know, yes, I'm going to come down there after this pitch. The last thing in the world you want right now is a defender out of position.
Looked like maybe a little bit of a subtle nod from Derek. Runners are going to go, and it's fouled by Molina. They were running on a 2-2. So again, the Cardinals being aggressive with a struggling offense. And Ted Lilly with that big leg kick.
And it did look like Derek was about to break in behind Ryan at first base, but when the Cardinal runners broke, he just held his position down there at first base. Now watch Derek Lee kind of shuffle forward, and then he sees the runners going and he holds his position. Of course, Dave McKay, the first base coach, you can see him right there. He's got his back turned to home plate watching Derek Lee.
They're not running, and another foul. The chess match is on.
I love it. I'll tell you what, though, if you're a base runner and you have to wait to hear from the coach to get back, it's too late already. You have to watch that catcher behind the plate, watch his movements, sense where that first baseman is behind you. And now look at the leadoff Ryan's taking. He's wide open so he can see Derek Lee out of his peripheral vision.
Ground ball sending Terrio a bit to his left. He'll flip to Miles, and the inning is over. 2 walks, but they don't hurt Ted Lilly. Still 1-0.
Man, love that drinkability.
Drink a what?
Drinkability. It's what makes Bud Light so incredibly refreshing. It's like a wave of refreshment, gently washing over your whole body.
It's getting bigger.
Here comes the refreshment. That almost never happens.
Easy drinking, always refreshing. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
No hard feelings.
Feeling back pain? Dr. Scholl's back pain relief orthotics with shock guard technology give you immediate relief that lasts all day long. Dr. Scholl's pain relief is a step away.
From Wagner comes a revolution in power painting. Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. Wagner's new Project Sprayer with Optimus dual tip technology is now a great value at the Home Depot for under $60.
How would you like to vacation at the all-new Italian Village at Beaches, Turks and Caicos Resort, Villages and Spa? And bring along 15 of your closest friends and family. Just enter the Beaches Resort's fantastic family flyaway at WGNAmerica.com today. How would you like to vacation at the all-new Italian Village at Beaches, Turks and Caicos Resort, Villages and Spa? And bring along 15 of your closest friends and family. Just enter the Beaches Resort's fantastic family flyaway at WGNAmerica.com today.
Time to check out who's moving forward with Toyota. Watch out. Tonight it's Alfonso Soriano versus Cardinal starter Joel Pinheiro. 348 lifetime batting average, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, second most RBIs versus any pitcher. He has 9 against Ryan Franklin, sitting out in the bullpen for the Cardinals tonight. That's tonight's Toyota moving forward, thanks to Toyota.
2 bouncer. And then Ryan throws out Soriano. Cubs are making quick outs. Pinheiro now just 35 pitches to get the first 10 outs. Ball strike to Ryan Terrio. Pinheiro coming back, and he couldn't bounce it over Barden, who throws him out. Some interesting comments from Tony La Russa in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch regarding their recent struggles. He admits, yeah, we're scuffling right now. And he also admitted he made a mistake last night. He brought Kyle Loesch back on very short rest. He had a 2-inning start that was rained out on Friday, and he had a bad one last night. He said, I should have waited and had him start tonight and used Pinheiro last night. But having said that, Pinheiro walking right through this Cubs lineup. They go down very quietly, 1-0.
Commute. Commute. Shuttle. Shuttle A. With McDonald's McCafe, a better day is possible. Introducing hot or iced mocha with freshly ground espresso, real steamed milk, and decadent chocolate. Cubicle. There you go. Thanks. Cubicle A. If you haven't tried a mocha yet, McCafe your day.
Check. Strength meets intelligence. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
When we first bought the house, the lawn was nothing but brown. So I called my father-in-law. He's really good with the lawn. He knows exactly what to do.
Well, I told him to use Scott's Turf Builder, and he said, well, I got this stuff. I took it, threw it in the garbage. Cheaper brands have filler, sand, gravel, stuff you don't want on your lawn. Scott's Turf Builder is pure food. Every granule is 100% nutrition. You get what you pay for every time. See what happens, Chris, when you listen to your father-in-law? He's getting the hang of it now.
I still think I got the better lawn.
Me? I don't care what he says.
All food, no filler. That's the Scott's advantage.
It's good to get away.
What is this?
This is a travel napping, and I want you to stop wasting your money.
We got a good deal.
I can find a better deal than that in my sleep, if I slap it. At Priceline, you can name your own price and save up to half off on hotels.
That's way less than Expedia.
Negotiation accomplished.
Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic team gear, including clubhouse caps, T-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop Cubs.com shop.
Pinheiro threw 4 pitches in the top of this inning to the top 3 batters in the Cubs order, and he retired all of them. Well, the only way you could top that would be either 3 pitches and 3 outs or 9 pitches and 3 outs, all on strikes.
Well, and we criticize Colby Rasmus for a rookie mistake swinging at the first pitch after back-to-back walks by Ted Lilly. And the Cubs deserve their share of criticism for that inning as well. You got to make Pinheiro work a little bit more than that. I mean, we know Alfonso Soriano is going to be aggressive, and if you throw him a first pitch strike, he's going to swing at it. Ryan Theriot took the first pitch following the 1 pitch at bat and then swung at the second pitch, made out, and then Kosuke Fukudome a little overly aggressive, swinging at the first pitch he saw.
And you give Kosuke some leeway because he is such a patient hitter. Called strike 3. Lilly loves that curveball. And Bob, I think he even commented in the paper the other day, I think the line was, he's taken a little off that curveball even this year. He said guys are more apt to swing at that pitch because of the speed, not the location. That's what he's trying to do, trying to get guys to swing at that pitch. It's not an easy one to hit.
Especially for a lefty, when that ball starts sometimes behind your right shoulder as a left-handed hitter, anybody's instinct is to freeze and get ready to get out of the way, and then that ball just dive bombs down toward that inside corner.
Stavanoa, diving stop, Ryan Theriot, but he won't get an out. While we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
The Bob and Tom Show, tonight at 12 East, 9 West on WGN America.
Len and Bob and our WGN Sports crew on a glorious night for Cubs baseball from St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, Dave Van Dyke from the Chicago Tribune with a nice piece on Ted Lilly today. We'll get a 6-4-3 double play. Barden hit into it. That'll get Lilly out of the 4th inning. 1-0 St. Louis.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
I'd rather walk anyway.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl.
I just finished the new Midnight Truffle Blizzard, and I'm on cloud 9. Getting hard to breathe. It'll take your breath away. The new Midnight Truffle Blizzard has arrived at Dairy Queen with rich truffles and creamy DQ soft serve.
Logic says you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation. Better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. The finish you want, the value you're looking for.
I'm the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. On WWE Superstars. Expect everything.
Now time for the 5th inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win 5 $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. That's 5 $5 footlongs. It works right with the song, the promo. I like it. 1 strike on Derek Lee. He singled back up the middle in the second. Drives this ball. Is going to carry too far. Right into the mitt of Colby Rasmus. Wow. Joel Pinheiro, Bob, that's his 40th pitch. We're in the 5th inning. He's been like Greg Maddux tonight in that regard. Cubs hoping he doesn't complete this one, but he's on pace for about an 84-85 complete game. Bradley grounds out. Pujols stepping on first. 5 outs recorded by Pinheiro in the last 5 or 6 pitches. Unbelievable.
Well, and you would assume now, once again, Mike Fontenot making his way to the plate. He has to take until he gets a strike. But at this point in the ball game, Pinheiro has grown accustomed and is comfortable enough that he's probably going to throw a fastball right down the middle of the plate, knowing that Mike Fontenot more than likely is going to take until he gets a strike. He misses just inside with the sinker there. Take another one.
A base hit the other way. Good to see that from Mike. And he's on his way to second. And it's a 2-out double for Fontenot. So now the Cubs are a hit away from tying it up. And again, you'd like Soto to be a little bit selective because Pinheiro has still been efficient in this inning.
Boy, that is so good to see, Len. I mentioned all the early work that Mike Fontenot put in the cage today with Gerald Perry, and that's one of the things specifically they were working on, driving the ball to the opposite field. That time kept his head right down the barrel of the bat. His weight was balanced and hit that line drive down into the left field corner. Boy, when you get immediate results from something you've been working on earlier that day, that goes a long way toward reinforcing what it is you're trying to do.
1-1. Pinheiro is 30 years old. Born in Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico.
Pitch for Team Puerto Rico in the WBC. I have to believe at some point Giovanni Soto caught some pitches from Pinheiro, whether it in a ball game or down in the bullpen.
Pinheiro went to high school and community college in Florida. Moved with his mom to Florida when his parents divorced. Kicking the pitch, 2-2. Right at the end of Lou Pinella's tenure in Seattle, Pinheiro pitched there starting in 2000. He made his major league debut. Pitched with the Mariners through 2006. He's worked a full count, so Soto with the first long at bat among the Cubs in a while. Tying run at second base. We're in the 5th inning. Ground ball to third. Gobbled up by Barden, and Pinheiro gets out of it. First time the Cubs have stranded a base runner tonight. Still 1-0.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Introducing Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby.
Amy and I are gonna go grab a cab. Did you get any extra, you know?
I've only got one left.
Having a big night? Alka-Seltzer's the speedy way to relieve indigestion, heartburn, and headache.
Still hungry?
If you're like a lot of people, you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol. You've taken steps to try and lower both your numbers, but how close are you to your goals? There may be more you can do. Only Catawet combines 2 proven medicines in a single pill to significantly lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. In a clinical study of patients with slightly elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, Catawet helped 48% reach both goals in just 4 weeks.
Catawit is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise, that you can discuss with your doctor. Catawit is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
How close are you to where you want to be? Ask your doctor if Catawit can help you go for both your goals.
Hey, Len, Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band will be playing the Toyota Park August 8th and August 15th, brought to you by Land Shark Lager. Tickets are available exclusively at livenation.com. Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band, August 8th and 15th, brought to you by Land Shark Lager. Let the fin begin.
And we should tell people you do not have to have a gray beard in order to buy a ticket. Just so happened that those were the 2 guys we showed. One guy was wearing headphones, maybe listening to Jimmy Buffett. Swing and a miss.
Cheeseburger in paradise. Yeah, I had a cheeseburger yesterday, but
you don't even have to have a beard to come to the show. 0-2 to the pitcher, Pinheiro. Little bit inside on the curve. 3 hits for the Cubs, only 2 for the Cardinals, but they have the lead. Pinheiro 1 for 13 on the season, but he has scored 3 runs. Popped down to the mid of Soto. Big Poppy's back in the Red Sox lineup after missing the weekend series in Seattle. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. The Red Sox lead the Blue Jays 2-1. They're in the top of the 9th as Pinheiro strikes out. Ryan Dempster and Bree Johnson. Demp will start tomorrow. Mark O'Neill, the head athletic trainer. Good to see Mark smiling.
Yeah, no kidding.
Normally we see him on the field with a lot of concern on his face. But it's good to show him and Ed Halber in the lighter moments where they're not quite as busy. Well, it's easy for us to say because they're with us. But we talked about the award they received for basically the top staff in baseball, is voted on by their peers over the winter, but I think they've done a fantastic job, and what they do is so huge, along with Tim Buss, the strength and conditioning coach, the entire medical staff, Dr. Grislow and Dr. Adams.
Well, and for me, Len, the training staff, where they really make their money and earn their praise are the day-to-day injuries. I mean, if a pitcher blows out his elbow and has to have Tommy John surgery, there's nothing any trainer in the world can do about that. If a guy blows his ACL trying to make a play in the outfield, catches a cleat or something, there's no trainer in the world that can do anything about that. As Thurston lifts a high fly ball into foul ground, nobody's going to get there. Just to complete that thought, but the day-to-day injuries, the guy that fouls the ball off his ankle. Ryan Theriot got hit in the ribs and then took a ground ball in the ribs again the next day. Those day-to-day injuries that are nagging, not really enough to keep you out of the lineup, but enough to keep you from being 100%. The trainers that can get those players back on the field more quickly than the other team are a huge benefit to your ball club.
So another chance for Thurston. With the leadoff man Ryan on deck. Here comes Ted. Pulled and snagged by Derek Lee. He caught it. Hope he's all right.
Looked like he might have just caught it in a bad spot in that big first baseman's glove. You like to catch it in the pocket or up near the webbing if at all possible. Looked like that one got him right in the palm. Reaches across to the backhand side, just held his ground right there.
When you played first and third, did you wear a batting glove?
I should have worn catcher's gear, but yeah, I did. I wore one underneath any of my fielder's gloves. Just get a little pine tar on there, a little rosin, maybe a little spit between innings, and it just felt like your fielder's glove would stay on there much better.
Well, it seems like a lot of guys used to, and we don't see it as much anymore. Maybe better padding, you have to think. Big wave by Ryan.
I'll tell you, it's been my experience. I mean, there's always an exception to everything, but it seems like guys use more gloves over the course of a season. It used to be an infielder would start the season with one glove. He'd finish the season with that glove, even if it meant
broken bat, floater, base hit.
Even if it meant the equipment manager relacing it a couple times during the season, or maybe unstitching it, putting a little bit more padding in the palm of the glove. But you started the season with one glove, and usually you finish the season with that same glove. I see guys changing gloves several times over the course of the season.
Kosuke wears batting glove underneath. He might be the only one among the position players. While most guys wear batting gloves at the plate, that's something you didn't always used to see. It's changed on defense. Rasmus fouls back. Ryan, by the way, has reached all 3 times. That's what a good leadoff man does. He's walked twice, singled, and he scored the only run to date. That was in the first inning. front door curveball, and Rasmus almost came out of his shoes. A quote from Ted Lilly in the Dave Van Dyke Tribune piece: every pitch seems hittable to hitters because it's not coming in at 95 miles an hour. They want to swing. Talking about that mid to upper 60s curveball. What makes it look so attractive is the fact that it's slow. Makes that pitch look even faster than 87. 1-2.
That's part of the art of pitching. Making hitters swing at pitches that they think they can handle. And because of the movement or the late break or the change in speeds, they get themselves out easily.
Error on Dave McKay. Good effort. While the Cubs will head to San Diego after this series, the Cardinals will welcome in their interleague rival, the Kansas City Royals. Oh my goodness, did he hit that a ton or what? Colby Rasmus continues to blast 2-run homers. His last 3 hits have been 2-run homers, and it's now 3-0. Well, that is some kind of power from the rookie Rasmus.
No doubter off the rookie's bat here. Comes on a fastball middle of the plate. Quick hands through the zone. He knows where that one's headed. Man. I mean, the power really shouldn't be too much of a surprise. He hit 29 home runs and led the league in Springfield back in '07. It's not supposed to be that easy in the big leagues, though.
So Ted has now surrendered 10 home runs on the season. Well, the game starts to look a lot shorter when you consider what Joel Pinheiro has done. He hasn't thrown more than 14 pitches in any of the first 5 innings. He threw 12 combined in the 3rd and 4th. Well, there are some nights when you're clicking offensively, or at least having chances, when it seems like you have about 50 outs to work with, and other nights like this, where the sand in the hourglass is getting pretty short. Cubs need one big inning coming up, and they need Ted Lilly to get Albert Pujols here. 3-1. The pitch. Fouled back. He had a good cut. We have no idea what Chris Carpenter will bring to the table in his first start off the DL tomorrow, as Terrio throws off the back foot and gets Pujols. But with Carpenter and Wainwright coming up the next 2 nights, Cubs would really like to get this one. They're in a comeback mode tonight, 3-0.
You can settle down. You can fire it up. You can tune it in, but it's still not summer until you bring it out. Bud Light Lime. Superior drinkability. Ultimate refreshment. A splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood. To keep that car running longer and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
He was meeting my friends for the first time. We knew the perfect place to go.
I guess I did okay.
I knew they'd love him.
Try Olive Garden's new lasagna rollatini with chicken and fontina cream sauce. Or try the savory sausage and tomato Alfredo, starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
When my allergies hit, I've got a great new way to hit back. I get Claritin Clear with new Claritin liquid gels, the first and only non-drowsy allergy medicine with pure liquid power. Claritin liquid gels, a powerful new way to live Claritin Clear.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Check out tonight's Honda Accord game summary. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2009 Honda Accord. Ted Lilly has never lost in this park, even though he trails 3-0. And Colby Rasmus just hit a rocket out of here. His 4th home run of the season. 2-run shot. And St. Louis leads 3-0.
Got to start pecking away here offensively. Get some base runners on. Slow down Pinheiro a little bit.
High chopper on the bunt off the plate. Aaron Miles is thrown out. He's trying to do anything he can to get things going here.
And once again, one pitch, one out. The Cubs team bus must be double parked outside the stadium here tonight. Lots of very, very quick at bats. Good defensive play by Pinheiro, but once again, now you need Ted Lilly to take some pitches. With Soriano on deck, you'd much rather have your pitcher be the guy to maybe put himself in a hole, taking a couple of strikes. Oh, man. I mean, you definitely don't want Soriano to have to come to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on base and take any pitches. You'd much prefer to have him have the green light from the moment he steps in that box.
Well, Pinheiro has thrown 13, make it now 14 first pitch strikes to the first 18 batters. Now, a lot of those were put in play. He hasn't walked anybody. He's only faced one batter above the minimum to this point. That'll be just foul. That would have helped.
Love to watch the reaction of those kids when they either catch a foul ball or are handed a ball by one of the players, or in this case the ball boy down the left field line.
Called strike 3. Pinheiro has 2 punch outs. Both have come against the pitcher Lilly. So those kids will be talking about that foul ball all week.
Oh, and you have to analyze it for a little while and realize where that ball has been. Joel Pinheiro pitched it. Yadier Molina caught it. Ted Lilly hit it. That's not just some ball out of the bag somewhere. This one's actually seen action.
Fastball in. That's a good point. We tend to have very fond memories and thoughts about guys who give you souvenir baseballs. I don't think he gave it to me, but I remember Reed Nichols when he was with the Boston Red Sox gave a fan an autograph. Never forgotten that. Still 3-0 St. Louis.
My doctor told me something I never knew. As we get older, our bodies become less able to absorb calcium. He recommended Citracal. It's a different kind of calcium. Calcium citrate with vitamin D for unsurpassed absorption to nourish your bones.
So you've been doing a nice job out there helping people save money on car insurance.
Oh, thank you, sir.
But I think there are a few other things you can say about what a reliable company Geico is.
Right.
Well, maybe our Geico's the third largest car insurance company in America. Nice tidbit there.
Exactly. And I've been thinking, looking a bit more businesslike might help too.
Oh, my. No, it's... What's the word?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Name your own price, huh?
Yeah, they want $200 for a 4-star on the Vegas Strip. I'm going $190.
Oh, you wuss.
What?
Go lower.
$160?
Namby-pamby.
$99.
Now you're negotiating.
At Priceline, find half-price hotels every day. Save up to half off Expedia's best price and Hotels.com's best price on over 16,000 hotels. Find half-price hotels every day at Priceline.
From Wagner comes a revolution in power painting. Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. Wagner's new Project Sprayer with Optimus dual tip technology is now a great value at the Home Depot for under $60.
Hey, Cub fans, tonight it's a season finale of 90210. Shannon Doherty and Jenny Garth guest star. Adriana gives birth and Annie goes off the deep end. It all starts tonight at a special time. Season finale of 90210 tonight at 11:30 on WGN Chicago's CW. In there against Molina. Ted Lilly trying to keep his team within shouting distance. They trail 3-0 in the first of a 3-game set. Second and third place teams battling here. Milwaukee's in Houston. Brewers and Astros are tied 2-2 in the top of the 6th. Ricky Weeks out for the year with a left wrist injury. Suffered a couple of days ago in this ballpark. Craig Counsell got the start last night for the Brewers, and former Cub Casey McGee in their lineup against Mike Hampton tonight. They try to mix and match. And Bob, he was off to an excellent start. There was a lot of pressure on Ricky Weeks going into the season. That was it. That swing right there.
Yeah, very odd injury. It didn't appear that he checked a swing or anything like that. Just swung and fouled the ball back off the catcher. But that was it for Ricky Weeks. Yeah, and he was off to a great start.
That's as a leadoff man. Numbers not too far off of what Alfonso Soriano has done. Tapped by Molina. Fontenot throws. Unfortunately, the catcher was running. As he gets him, about anybody else in this lineup, and it's an infield hit.
Boy, and a good choice by Ted Lilly. He went down to a knee. He was going to try to make a sliding play and then pop to his feet. At the last second, he lays off the ball, gives way to Mike Fondo, who had a much easier play. And you're absolutely right. Anybody but Molina.
What's your line? He ran hard, but he didn't run
fast. He runs like he's mad at the ground.
I'm not trying to be mean about it, but he runs like he squats for about 3 hours a night.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be expected. If you see a catcher that runs well, he is a very young catcher that hasn't caught a lot of games.
Duncan has struck out twice, and he takes a bender for a strike.
Boy, he's going to be seeing that curveball in his sleep tonight. Ted Lilly has thrown his best curveballs to the Cardinals left fielder.
Ground ball, diving stop. Derek Lee from the seat of his pants. Perfect throw. I hope Derek's all right. He's fine. Got a little dirty, but smile on his face. 2 outs.
Ball was hit pretty hard. A couple steps to Derek's right. 1, 2, 3 steps and a dive. Didn't panic, took his time rolling over there. He knew that his pitcher was going to get over there to cover the bag and got it over there in plenty of time to get Duncan.
Stavinoa 1 for 2. At the knees. Want to send out get well wishes and a very speedy recovery to Arlen Broder, watching tonight in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. coming back from 2 broken arms. Marlon, we hope you're feeling a lot better. Also want to give a shout out to another huge Cub fan, Ray Kakamo. Watches us every night. And it was great to see another big Cubs fan who stopped up to the booth. And kind of an interesting story. Alex Ransom. He went to umpires school in Florida. He's umpiring high school games right now, and his dream is to one day be criticized by you. He wants to be a big league umpire. That is deep toward the bullpen. Soriano on the track's going to have just enough room right in front of the 375 sign to retire Stavanoa. 3-0 St. Louis as we head to the 7th.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Refresh everything. Visit refresheverything.com.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Introducing Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby.
Regrouting my shower.
And?
Made a lot of trips.
3?
5.
Too many. Got what you need?
Do now.
Give it a full day before you use the shower.
Did not know that.
Do now.
Got lots to clean up.
Got hefty drawstring bags $4.99, half off.
My yard's kind of dark at night.
Be a lot brighter with solar lights, 50% off, 6 for only $11.99. Hurry, sale ends Saturday.
This conversation
never happened.
For the right tools, products, and advice, True Value. Start right. Start here.
I just finished the new Midnight Truffle Blizzard, and I'm on cloud 9.
Getting hard to breathe.
It'll take your breath away. The new Midnight Truffle Blizzard has arrived at Dairy Queen with rich truffles and creamy DQ soft serve.
How would you like to vacation at the all-new Italian Village at Beaches, Turks and Caicos Resort, Villages and Spa? And bring along 15 of your closest friends and family. Just enter the Beaches Resort's fantastic family flyaway at WGNAmerica.com today.
Time now to look at tonight's AM/PM player of the game. Hasn't been a lot going on for the Cubs tonight, but Ted Lilly gets through 6 innings, giving up only the 3 runs. Had a real good curveball working and was able to induce a double play when he needed it the most. That's our AM/PM player of the game, Ted Lilly. Too much good stuff.
And he certainly had some competition on the other side tonight. Talked about it earlier. The Cardinals haven't gotten from their starting staff this month what they got to begin the season, and the record has reflected that. But Joel Pinheiro has been terrific. 0-2 to Terrio. Bounces that one right side, backing up Pujols. Little lollipop over to Pinheiro. Let's step aside once again, see what's coming up on WGN.
WWE Superstars, Thursday at 8 East 8 West on WGN America.
Cardinals 3, Cubs nothing. Ball 1 to Fukudome. You believe Pinheiro missed the strike zone. Cubs are just looking for any little opening. And a tying run in scoring position back in the 5th when they were down 1-0. As Fontenot doubled with 2 outs. But then Soto grounded out to 3rd. And then in the bottom of that inning, big 2-run homer from Colby Rasmus. Let's go 6-3. I don't know if you've counted up the ground ball outs, Bob, but there have been a lot of them tonight. I only see the One fly out. That was Kosuke flying to left in the 4th. That's it.
But Derek Lee did hit that line drive into center field. But yeah, you're right. A lot of balls pounded into that dirt right in front of home plate tonight.
One fly out. Cubs do have 3 hits. But the pickoff was big in the first inning. Soriano, after leading off the game with a base hit, got nabbed by Molina. Bradley hit into a double play after Lee singled into center. You know what the Cubs might need? An error. They put a lot of balls in play. And most of the outs have been fairly routine. Need somebody to bobble one out there.
Well, you mentioned earlier, Khalil Green has been relegated to utility man duties because of his offensive struggles, but also because of his defensive struggles. Had made 6 errors already this season. And at least for the time being, Tony La Russa is going to use him off the bench.
It was a rare fly ball, but this one going to be caught. Rasmus squeezes a stretch here in St. Louis. All Cardinals, all Pinheiro so far.
Instability, bad.
Nailed it.
Drinkability, good. Not too heavy, not too light. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Pain really cramped my style. But I get up, move around a little bit, take a leave, go to work.
Only 2 Aleve can stop pain all day. That would take twice as many Advil or 4 times as many Tylenol.
I'm pain-free. I could do what I want to do.
If you're like a lot of people, you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol. You've taken steps to try and lower both your numbers, but how close are you to your goals? There may be more you can do. Only Catawet combines 2 proven medicines in a single pill to significantly lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. In a clinical study of patients with slightly elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, Catawet helped 48% reach both goals in just 4 weeks.
Catawit is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise, that you can discuss with your doctor. Catawit is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
How close are you to where you want to be? Ask your doctor if Catawit can help you go for both your goals.
Detachability, bad.
Now, you see, that's why I don't ride a bike.
Drinkability, good. Not too heavy, not too light. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Time for tonight's Bud Light Fan Cam. Tonight, Los Lonely Boys with Castanets. From an Alejandro Escovedo tribute album, Los Lonely Boys with Castanets. Tonight's Bud Light Fan Cam, just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. Check the swing. Brian Barden grounds out 1-3. Comes Pinheiro. He's been the man of the night for the home team. Got a nice letter from Connie Dimmitt from hometown Illinois. I've never been to hometown, but I think a lot of people are from there. Yeah. Where's your hometown?
Hometown?
Hometown. LennonBob at ChicagoNow.com if you'd like to send us an email. 1-2. Going to be a play on this foul pop. Connie says her favorite Cub is the Riot. Quote, the name fits it.
It's quite a change from last night's ball game for Tony La Russa. He used 7 pitchers to go the last 5 innings of the ball game against the Brewers, and the Brewers at one point held a 7-0 lead. That's the kind of ball game you usually turn the ball over to your long guy and say, hey, you're in there for the next 5. Go get him.
A lot of walks. Swing and a miss. Well, all the reports had been that Rick Ankiel is probably going to be back tomorrow from the 15-day disabled list. This is the injury suffered. He bruised his right shoulder, went head first into the wall after that fantastic catch. This is hard to watch.
Oh, man. Was fully extended to make the catch. Couldn't slow himself down. Oh.
But the manager wants to make sure tomorrow that he feels right and is ready before they make that decision to activate him, as Thurston lines out deep to center. We'll head off to the 8th. Still 3-0 St. Louis.
He was meeting my friends for the first time. We knew the perfect place to go.
I guess I did okay.
I knew they'd love him.
Try Olive Garden's new lasagna rollatini with chicken and fontina cream sauce. Or try the savory sausage and tomato Alfredo, starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
Logic says you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation. Better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Snapple.
Jim, we found better stuff.
What?
Look at this stuff.
That's good stuff.
Natural stuff.
Big news, everyone. We found better stuff.
What stuff?
This stuff.
I love that stuff.
I thought we already had the best stuff. Yeah, but this is better stuff.
This is the new stuff. It's like the same stuff. This stuff's better.
Healthy green tea, tasty black tea, real sugar.
That's the stuff.
The best stuff on earth just got better.
Regrouting my shower.
And?
Didn't start right.
Didn't start here.
Made a lot of trips.
3?
5.
Too many. Got what you need?
Do now.
Give it a full day before you use the shower.
Did not know that.
Do now.
This conversation
never happened.
For the right tools, products, and advice from the masters of all things hardwareian, True Value. Start right. Start here.
Back here in St. Louis, 3-0 Cardinals. Starting pitchers, they've kind of ruled the roost, although Ted Lilly has given up 3. It's been a quality start to this point, but he trails 3-0. Skip Schumacher now into play left. And Shane Robinson is in right. Duncan and Stavanoa are out.
Well, since Tony couldn't take his pitcher out because he's doing so well, he decided to make some moves in the outfield. This is a better defensive alignment for the Cardinals with Schumacher and Robinson on the corners.
Bradley hits a grounder to Thurston. 2 pitches, 1 out.
Like he was trying to make that error you were talking about. Thurston got his feet crossed up a little bit, made that a tougher play than it appeared to be, but still gets Bradley at first base.
Those changes are straight up. Schumacher in for Duncan, batting 5th. Robinson for Stavinoa, batting 6th. Cubs closer Kevin Gregg loosening up in the bullpen. Got hit in the back of the right hand and had blown save the other day, but he said he feels fine. Caught by Schumacher. 4 pitches, 2 outs. Here's your chance to play catch in the outfield. Run the bases or relax in the dugouts of Wrigley Field. Hey Dad, want to have a catch is on Saturday, June 27th. Limited tickets are available for $150 each, and they include a t-shirt, photograph, baseball, and lunch. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com or call 773-404-CUBS. 1 strike on Giovanni Soto. Gio has waited out Pinheiro, even though he didn't walk his last time. Worked a deep count before grounding out. He pulled it foul. Got to be honest, we rarely do this anymore, but you get to this point in the game, you start to look at career complete games for the starting pitcher. And for Joel Pinheiro, 9 in his career. He had a stretch of several years where he had at least 1 from 2002 to 2006 with Seattle. He had all 9 of his complete games, and it's been a while. So over 3 years since his last complete game, and no question he's going to come back in the 9th. He hasn't even hit 80 pitches yet as he strikes out Soto. Cardinals 3, Cubs nothing.
Chore. Chore. Rinse. Rinse. With McDonald's McCafe iced coffee, a better day is possible, or possible. Bold Arabica beans taste smooth and creamy. Sprinkle. Sprinkle. If you haven't tried an iced coffee yet, McCafe your day.
When we first bought the house, the lawn was nothing but brown. So I called my father-in-law. He's really good with the lawn. He knows exactly what to do.
Well, I told him to use Scott's Turf Builder. And he said, well, I got this stuff. I took it, threw it in the garbage. Cheaper brands have filler, sand, gravel, stuff you don't want on your lawn. Scott's Turf Builder is pure food. Every granule is 100% nutrition. You get what you pay for every time. See what happens, Chris, when you listen to your father-in-law? He's getting the hang of it now.
I still think I got the better lawn.
Me. I don't care what he says.
All food, no filler. That's the Scott's advantage.
From Wagner comes a revolution in power painting. Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. Wagner's new Project Sprayer with Optimus dual tip technology is now a great value at the Home Depot for under $60.
I have arthritis in my left hand, and I'm left-handed, but I've been taking a leave.
Only 2 Aleve can stop pain all day. That would take twice as many Advil or 4 times as many Tylenol.
I've been bowling for 50 years. I would feel bad if I couldn't bowl.
Kevin Gregg relieving Tad Lilly, who went 7 innings, allowing 4 hits and 3 runs. If we told you Albert Pujols was 0 for 3, you'd feel fairly good about the Cubs' chances tonight. But it hasn't been Albert doing the damage. Molina and Rasmus with the big hits for St. Louis. So Kevin, even though his team trails, looking for a comeback outing. Last one was not good.
Yeah, obviously this is not normally the kind of game where you would see Kevin Gregg take the ball and go out there to the mound, but it's very important that they get him righted.
Gave up 4 runs on 4 hits in his last outing. Non-save spot as he came in with a 4-0 lead against Houston. Cubs did win it in the bottom of the 9th. No swing by Ryan. You think about a pitcher being wild, and you would assume there were walks and pitches way off the plate. Well, I mean, it seemed like everything Kevin threw was right down the heart of the plate, which sometimes, Bob, can work because guys can get themselves out, and when you're leading late 4-0, you can get guys to make outs, but the Astros didn't that day. That's deep into the right field corner. It's slicing away from Bradley. Going to hit the wall and just be fouled. That's fortunate. That was at least a triple with that big carom if it were fair. And Ryan took another long look at it, but no big argument here from the Cardinals. Only way that would have been replayed is if it had been a home run. So it just must have been a little bit to the right of the yellow line on the wall.
Now, Ryan with a little bit of argument as he was on his way to second base there, but Dave McKay, the first base coach, who was looking right down that line, no argument at all from him.
Stay tuned for the WGN News following the game. Micah Mater, Mark Sapelsa, Dan Roan with the sports, and Tom Skilling with the weather. Caught by Bradley. Time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. Keeping the theme of the youngsters ending up with the foul ball. That guy had a shot at it, but once he dropped it.
He thinks he's going to get it right here. Not you.
Watch this right here.
He sneaks a peek at it.
Tonight's Have a Ball thanks to the Illinois Lottery.
That's good stuff.
Rasmus with a big 2-run homer his last time up. Bradley's been busy this half inning, 2 outs. I don't know how heavy a bat Albert Pujols swings. It doesn't appear to be particularly long. I'm sure it's heavier than most because he's a pretty strong guy. But I saw an interesting article in the San Diego paper. Adrian Gonzalez, after talking with Ryan Howard either last year or 2 years ago, swinging a much heavier bat. We've seen him hit some booming home runs. We know Alfonso Soriano swings a big bat. The trend has been to go with lighter bats. Ryan Theriot this year swinging a bat that's about 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces heavier than his old model. The one he likes this year and now has his name on it, but it was a Milton Bradley bat that he swung in spring training. And Ryan said, no guarantee I'm going to keep this bat. He says, I change it quite a bit, but he liked it. And, you know, that might explain partially why he's hit so many home runs. A little bit bigger bat. Might lead to a few more strikeouts along the way.
Well, I think the theory is it's all about generating bat speed at the point of contact, and guys went to lighter bats because they felt they could generate more bat speed. Unfortunately, the lighter the bat, the poorer the wood.
Pujols hustling, and he's going to end up with a double standing. Not even close. How about that piece of hitting by Pujols, his 7th double?
The theory is you use a heavier bat, the grain is a little tighter, the bat itself will stay together a little better. Oh man, that's just not fair. Breaking ball off the plate, low and away, just reaches out and hooks it into that left field corner. Soriano with just a slight hesitation getting the ball out of the glove. Wouldn't have had Pujols at second base anyway.
You know, the difference between 33 and 34 ounces or 34 and 35 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, isn't it? When you're used to certain weight, also an inch here or there in terms of the length could make a big difference. The handle.
I mean, this is a little bit of an extreme, but I've heard hitters talk about their bats as hitting utensils. I mean, you've seen it, Len, in the clubhouse. They get out the scale and they're weighing bats, and this one is 34.27 ounces, and they'll write it on the knob of the bat. This one is 34.5 inches long. This one is 34 3/8 inches long. And when you give a player a different bat, even if it's just a half an ounce off, they'll notice the difference right away.
The knobs are different. Is it Reed Johnson has a big, huge knob at the end of his bat?
Flared knob at the bottom. Cub fans will remember Sammy Sosa used to wrap layers and layers and layers of tape around the bottom of his bat, give himself a little more leverage at the point of contact.
Up the middle, but Terrio will get there behind second. And we'll head off to the ninth. Last chance for the Cubs. Yeah, they make bats here at Busch Stadium. If you ever come down here, may want to stop on.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Introducing Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Check.
Strength meets intelligence. The surprisingly efficient Ridgeline, built by Honda.
I am Edge, the rated R superstar. WWE Superstars. Expect everything.
How would you like to vacation at the all-new Italian Village at Beaches, Turks and Caicos Resort, Villages and Spa? And bring along 15 of your closest friends and family. Just enter the Beaches Resort's fantastic family flyaway at WGNAmerica.com today.
Well, the chances have dwindled to 3. Only 3 outs left for the Cubs. And Joel Pinheiro has been about as efficient as one of those really small hybrid cars. 78 pitches through 8 complete innings. So he's in the 9th and a strike on former teammate Aaron Miles. Off power on deck for Greg, and then Soriano. So while the Cubs haven't been terribly patient, and you give Pinheiro certainly a lot of credit for it, as Miles grounds out, I'm going to say you might see them be more patient this inning than any other, because a walk could be big. But 2 pitches and 1 out. We've said that a lot. 80 on the night.
Now, this is the kind of outing for Pinheiro. If it happened in spring training, you'd send him down to the bullpen to reach his pitch count. He has been so efficient. The Cubs have been so overly aggressive. Just a perfect storm for the Cardinals here tonight. Strike 1 on the pinch hitter. Off power.
0-2. Pinheiro has simply been dazzling. Hasn't done it with the strikeout pitch. Been getting early contact. They presented this argument certainly to some ridicule over the years about how overrated the strikeout can be. Sometimes too much contact is a bad thing. The Cubs have taken no walks, and the contact they've made has not been good contact. My point being, Bob, I would exchange 5 ground ball outs for strikeouts and have Pinheiro have 8 if a couple of those other outs had been walks. At least give yourself a chance. But he hasn't allowed it to happen because there haven't been deep counts all night. I can remember 1-3-2 count, and that was against Soto. I think that's been it.
It's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. A lot of first pitch out, second pitch outs.
Still 2-2 on Hoff power.
You know, here at Busch Stadium before the ball game, as the fans are filing in, they put quotes up on the big board out in right center field from various Hall of Famers and superstars of the game. And ironically, one of them today was from Sandy Koufax. He said he really became a pitcher when he learned to pitch to contact instead of away from contact. And that's basically what you're talking about.
Well, Pinheiro on the doorstep of a complete game shutout. $41,374 here at Busch Stadium.
It's just funny how this game works, Len. I mean, it's a 3-0 ball game at this point. The Cubs have scored bunches of runs at a time. In a lot of other ball games, a 3-run lead would seem like absolutely nothing, but because they have absolutely generated zero offense against Pinheiro, it feels like it's 10-0.
Well, that's why that 2-run homer by Rasmus was enormous, because if it were 1-0, all these at bats would be nail biters. Oh, 0-2 on Soriano. Pitch number 90 on the night. Never thought I'd say it. The Cubs are ready for Chris Carpenter. Somebody else. Fast. Popped it up. And Pujols gave it a good shot, but it's out of play. And as you said, they used almost the whole bullpen last night. So you would love to have gotten into the bullpen. And you still can. You can somehow get a couple of guys on base. One-two slider, and he struck him out. And I haven't seen a lot of Joel Pinheiro's career, but that has to go down as one of his best career starts. Just a complete command throughout. As the Cardinals win game 1 3-0, a 3-hit shutout for Pinheiro. Strikeouts 4 and 5 on the entire night to end the game, and St. Louis takes the opener of this series. Back with more in a moment.
Next on WGN News, bank robbery gone terribly wrong. Crooks lead police on a high-speed chase that results in a gun battle. Plus, signing up, Patty Blagojevich is reportedly close to accepting a deal to appear on a reality TV show. And the Blackhawks go overtime in their Western Conference Finals series with the Red Wings. Highlights of Game 2 coming up.
Are you ready for the digital world? By June 12th, Antenna TV will be all digital. Remember to rescan your converter box or digital TV set, especially after June 12th. By rescanning, your TV set will find all the channels available in your area.
Mom, I want an allergy medicine that won't make me drowsy. Children's Claritin chewables? I relieve allergy symptoms without making you drowsy. And grape tastes awesome.
It's the #1 pediatrician recommended non-drowsy brand. Let your kids live Claritin Clear.
Oh, whoa, honey. Okay, I mean, you can't. This isn't a stove, all right? I mean, what if I just walked into the kitchen and started making a salad?
That'd be weird.
Right? I mean, look, there's a technique.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, everyone.
Thanks, hon.
Yep, it's that easy with Kingsford Match Light.
Regrouting my shower.
And?
Didn't start right.
Didn't start here.
Made a lot of trips.
3?
5.
Too many. Got what you need?
Do now.
Give it a full day before you use the shower.
Did not know that.
Do now.
This conversation
Never happened.
For the right tools, products, and advice from the masters of all things hardwarean, True Value. Start right. Start here.
I just finished the new Midnight Truffle Blizzard, and I'm on cloud 9. Getting hard to breathe. It'll take your breath away. The new Midnight Truffle Blizzard has arrived at Dairy Queen with rich truffles and creamy DQ soft serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing an indulgent interlude, a melodic mocha melody. Blended like chocolate and coffee. You're gonna want to sip this through a straw. This isn't a kiddie sweet fix. It's a sophisticated stirring that'll warm your soul and tingle your toes, whipping emotions like cream. Here, for the first time, drizzling chocolate in your ear is Dwelle.
The sweetest kiss to ever come your way, baby. Oh, yeah.
Snapple.
Jim, we found better stuff.
What?
Look at this stuff.
That's good stuff.
Natural stuff. Big news, everyone. We found better stuff.
What stuff?
This stuff.
I love that stuff.
I thought we already had the best stuff.
Yeah, but this is better stuff.
It's the new stuff. Looks like the same stuff. This stuff's better.
Healthy green tea, tasty black tea, real sugar.
That's the stuff.
The best stuff on earth just got better.
From Wagner comes a revolution in power painting. Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology only from Wagner. Wagner's new project sprayer with Optimus dual tip technology is now a great value at the Home Depot for under $60.
Well, for the Cardinals, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 4 left. Cubs, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. And again, overrated stat, left on base. Cubs left 1 on base, but they're not happy about it. They only had 3 base runners all night. Pinheiro over Lilly. Pinheiro with his first win of the month. Lilly his first loss in the month of May. Now tonight's Budweiser play of the game. This kind of put it out of reach. Colby Rasmus with a long 2-run homer in the 5th.
Giving the Cubs fans another Cardinal player not to like. Colby Rasmus, after a great minor league career, starting to make a name for himself here with the big club.
Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. A final word from St. Lou in a moment.
That hits the spot. It's drinkability. Means Bud Light is good wherever you are.
If you're at a party, or playing golf, like those guys, or at the bar.
Draw another door. Don't say draw.
Never filling, always refreshing. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
7 aces.
history of smoking and breathing problems, it could be COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both. Discover Spiriva, the only once-daily inhaled maintenance prescription that treats both forms of COPD. Spiriva significantly improves lung function to help you breathe better for a full 24 hours. And it's not a steroid. Spiriva does not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms. Stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, or have vision changes or eye pain. Tell your doctor if you have glaucoma, problems passing urine, or an enlarged prostate, as these may worsen with Spiriva. Also, discuss the medicines you take, even eye drops. Side effects may include dry mouth, constipation, and trouble passing urine. So make a habit of breathing better with Spiriva.
Painting will never be the same. Wagner brings you the only power painter with Optimus dual tip technology. With a more refined spray pattern here, Wagner's dual tip design delivers better paint coverage here, superior control here, and a beautiful finish here. All of which adds more to life out here. The new Optimus Power Painter with dual tip technology, only from Wagner. The finish you want, the value you're looking for.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Bud Light, with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. Comcast. Catch more games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV today. By Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit refresheverything.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit southwest.com today.
3-0 St. Louis over the Cubs. Milwaukee leading at Houston 4-2. They're in the 8th inning there, so Cubs will wait for the end of that one. Right now they're 2.5 out, and St. Louis has caught them for second place. Bob, it'd be easy to criticize the approach tonight, but considering everybody in the lineup did about the exact same thing, I think you have to tip your cap to Joel Pinheiro.
Well, it just goes to show you, Len, there's a lot more than one way to work your way through a big league lineup. Joel Pinheiro was not overpowering tonight, but he used good movement. He kept his pitches down in the zone. He threw them around the bottom of the strike zone, and the Cubs hitters just couldn't lay off.
He retired 13 in a row to end the game. He faced 28 batters, or one over the minimum. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this was about as dominating as some no-hitters that have been pitched. I mean, there have been no-hitters where guys have walked 8 or 9 batters. He was really good tonight. Well, tomorrow's another night, and so is Friday. And Big Z will return to the mound on Friday, and we'll have it for you right here on WGN Sports. He'll come off the disabled list and face the San Diego Padres, 9 o'clock Central Time from Petco Park. That'll wrap it up from St. Louis. Final score tonight, Cardinals 3, Cubs nothing. Stay tuned. The WGN News is next.
Logic says you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation. Better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
If you look at the last 6 months, I think you'll agree that the production growth opportunity that we have for us with What is that?
That's the money you could be saving with Geico.
Tell me who's watching. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're visiting hidden valleys across America to see how they like the taste of Kraft Ranch. You want to try some Kraft Ranch?
Nice approach. Good form. Oh, he's got all of that one.
Mulligan. That went in the water.
I just want to see a nice shoulder turn and dip.
Hi!
See? A Kraft lover in Hidden Valley. Isn't that a 2-stroke penalty? No, it isn't. You can love it.
It's the Samoan bulldozer, Umaga. Umaga is inhuman.
superstars. Expect everything.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Police choppers in the air, SWAT teams on the ground. A frenzy of activity happening after a bank robbery failed, led to a high-speed chase, gunplay with police as well. And good evening to you. I'm Mark Sapelsa.
And I'm Micah Mater. That story in just a moment. But first, that controversial Cook County sales tax increase will stay in effect now that county commissioners have failed or override a veto of the tax hike repeal, I should say. WGN's Judy Garcia is in our newsroom with that story. Judy?
Micah, last year the Cook County Board voted to effect a 1.25% sales tax increase. Now, what that means in Chicago is that the sales tax is the highest in the country, 10.25%. County commissioners say since that increased sales tax took effect, they've been getting an earful from their constituents.
The constituents who elected the board are demanding an end to this tax. They're demanding an end to what they see as their tax dollars paying for patronage, for waste, for scandal, and they want it to end. They want this to end, and the board is responding to that.
The Cook County Board today voted on whether to reduce the county's portion of the sales tax, a measure which had earlier passed but was vetoed by Board President Todd Stroger.
I made a mistake by going along, by being swallowed up with the whirlpool effect, the momentum on the vote.
Even commissioners who initially voted for the rollback changed their vote today. Overriding the veto would have required 14 of the 17 commissioners to vote yes. Only 11 did. Stroger argues the county needs to keep the sales tax increase in place.
The reason that I vetoed this was because it's not good for the county. We know where that will put us. It will put us back in the hole. It does not serve our mission. Our mission is public health and public safety.
Chicago's Civic Federation analyzed how Cook County spent the new sales tax revenues.
The money went primarily for retroactive pay raises and additional pay raises and benefits for county employees. It did not go to increase dramatic funding for the hospitals or even the jail or other essential services.
Massal says Cook County has many fiscal inefficiencies and did not budget the new revenues properly.
There was never a plan for how this money was going to be effectively spent.
Massal also says Cook County's higher sales taxes prompt some shoppers living in areas bordering other counties or states with lower sales taxes to shop there instead. Some commissioners say the same thing.
Well, it's easier for people in my district to go to DuPage County to shop than it is to stay in our Cook County region and pay the additional sales tax.
Another measure is already making its way through the board. It would reduce Cook County sales tax by 0.75%.
We're going to continue this because we were elected to represent the residents of Cook County. We have an obligation to do that. We're going to continue to have this debate until we get the sufficient number of votes.
And they've already proposed a 0.75% rollback on the tax increase. Unclear whether that will pass. Todd Stroger says he plans to veto it. And there is a measure currently pending in the Illinois House which would change the number of votes needed to override such a veto from the current 14 down to 11. Reporting live in the newsroom, Judy Garcia, WGN News.
Judy, thank you. Now back to our other top story, the bank robbery gone bad in the south suburbs.
That bank robbery happening at the City Bank in Calumet City, and the ensuing high-speed chase ended at 130th and the Bishop Ford Expressway. Tonight, 3 suspects have been captured and are accused of robbery and shooting a police officer. WGN's Antoine Lewis live at Christ Hospital with details. Hi, Antoine.
Good evening, Micah. Christ Hospital is where the officer involved in this incident that was shot is being treated right now. We understand he received a through-and-through gunshot wound. His name has not been released, but we understand his condition is good. Chicago police say 2 armed men wearing hooded sweatshirts held up this Citibank on River Oaks Drive around 2:15. Police were tipped off early when someone inside dialed 911 from a cell phone.
We got the jump. We were able to get out there. We were able to get on the possible escape routes before the alarm went off.
That allowed officers time to pursue the suspect vehicle and set up roadblocks. Near 131st and the Bishop Ford Expressway, the suspects blew a tire and crashed trying to avoid police. The 3 men then took off on foot.
The officers gave chase, at which time one of the offenders turned and fired upon the officers, striking one of the Calumet City police officers in the leg.
An officer fired back, hitting a suspect in the arm. Police took one into custody at the scene. Authorities then descended upon nearby Beaubien Woods from the air and on the ground looking for the other 2. The search took place next to Carver Military Academy. School officials placed the school on lockdown. Police say a wounded suspect walked out of the woods sometime later and turned himself in. Authorities in Burham caught the believed third person around 5:30 p.m. Carver military students were released to worried parents shortly thereafter. And as you come back to us live, police did say inside that vehicle they found a handgun and some cash. We do not know the amounts and all of that. They believe that that handgun was the one, in fact, used in the Citibank robbery. They, of course, are doing tests to determine that. And again, the officer's condition is good. His name has not been released. We're live in Oak Lawn tonight. Antoine Lewis, WGN News.
All right, thanks, Antoine. It looks like we'll be seeing former First Lady Patty Blagojevich in the jungles of Costa Rica and on America's TV screens. A source close to the case says Mrs. Blagojevich is planning to leave for the West Coast tomorrow to take promotional footage for the NBC reality TV series, I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here. Former Governor Rod Blagojevich wanted to appear on the reality show, but the judge in his pending corruption trial wouldn't allow him to leave the country.
Shake up at the top. Chicago Streets and Sanitation Department. It appears to be imminent. Right now, Commissioner Mike Picardi will be gone once the snow hits in the wintertime. Mayor Daley became very upset with him from the December 1st minor snow that saw less than 3 inches of snowfall, but one in which Picardi spent almost $500,000 to clean it up. It appears that Daley will replace Picardi with Thomas Byrne, that man there, the city's transportation commissioner. Picardi will go back to his old job, eventually running the fleet management services, and have his salary reduced 10% to some $140,000 a year. Mayor Daley says if you want to blame anybody for the parking meter mess, blame him. He says he takes the responsibility. Daley also says turning over the parking meters to the private company should not have been done so abruptly, but over a period of, say, 3 months or so. That's because the meters were broken, charged the wrong rates, were stuffed with quarters without room for more because of an increase in rates. However, the mayor stands by his decision to privatize the meters, challenging reporters today that if the media companies were run like he's been running the meters and the rest of the city, they wouldn't be laying people off. Getting tough on gas mileage rules. President Obama rolls out some new rules for the road in a first-of-its-kind national standard for vehicles.
And are the Cubbies going Hollywood? Find out which celebrity fans were approached about becoming part owners of the team.
You're watching WGN News at 9 with Allison Payne, Mark Zapelsa, Tom Skilling, and Dan Rowe. This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
By now, you've heard that antenna TV is going all digital, and the nationwide switch to digital TV has moved to a new date, June 12th. But you don't have to wait until June 12th to enjoy free digital TV. Upgrade your antenna TV with a converter box or buy a new digital set. Use the right antenna and start enjoying free digital television now. Visit dtvanswers.com or call 888-CALL-FCC to learn more about the June 12th switch to digital TV.
What if Embrace, the latest from Venus, came with a closeness guarantee? Not just a guarantee to shave you closer, but to get you closer and closer. Venus Embrace. Get closer or your money back.
An urgent message from the Balkan and Icebrook Hydroxycut Hotline.
The popular weight loss supplement Hydroxycut has been pulled from the market. The FDA has linked Hydroxycut to serious health problems, including liver failure, kidney damage, and severe cardiac problems. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries while using Hydroxycut, you may be entitled to a large cash award. Call 1-800-RESULTS today.
Call 1-800-RESULTS. You don't have to suffer. You just have to call 1-800-RESULTS.
On eHarmony, I felt like I was meeting somebody that I already kind of knew.
At eHarmony, our in-depth questionnaire lets us get to know the real you, so we can match you with other singles on far deeper levels than other dating sites. Review all your matches for free at eHarmony.com.
What about this?
Not during my period. I feel so bloated.
Well, you can pull it off with Direx.
Direx?
Direx.
Direx relieves excess water weight and bloat so you can look your best even when you feel your worst. Direx, the bloat medicine.
For mold and mildew and soap scum, Tilex Hardcore Clean. You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
President Obama setting new nationwide emission standards in an effort to cut down America's dependency on foreign oil and upgrade the air quality. Here's the 2016 plan. All new vehicles would have to get 35.5 miles per gallon. The designs would also have to run cleaner, reduce hazardous emissions by 30%, But change does cost money. Drivers would have to pay about $1,300 more for a new and improved vehicle like this.
I think that the manufacturers are learning to say yes, because they have to. I mean, they really have no choice right now, and there's always the opportunity in the future, if it looks like it's not going to happen in time, that there will be some flexibility from the legislators too.
The president says his plan could save nearly 2 billion barrels of oil a year by 2016.
The U.S. Senate voted overwhelmingly today to pass a credit card bill of rights, and the House could follow as soon as tomorrow. The legislation bans arbitrary rate hikes and excessive fees. Among the provisions, a 45-day notice before raising interest rates and allowing customers to pay bills online or by phone without an added fee. If the bill becomes law, the credit card industry would have 9 months to make those changes.
Some celebrity Cub fans may have a chance to own a piece of the team. Sources telling the Chicago Tribune that Bill Murray, Jim Belushi, John Cusack have all met with Wilmette businessman Tom Ricketts about investing in the Cubs. Ricketts has struck a deal to buy the Cubs from the Tribune Company for $900 million. Sources say Ricketts has about $850 million in cash and loans, but is looking to raise more money from private investors.
Well, our very own WGN's Tom Negevin is in Afghanistan, embedded with troops from Illinois. He's there gathering stories about what the troops are experiencing.
We talked with Tom earlier by phone. He says the local soldiers have lots of emotional stories to tell, and they certainly have home on their mind.
A lot of White Sox fans, Cubs fans, Bears fans out here, you name it, may do their best to bring a piece of home with them, and a piece of home often involves a little bit of sports memorabilia. Now, as you may or may not know, I brought some of that stuff as well. The Cubs and the White Sox have both been sending stuff over through us on this trip to give to the troops out in the field. We brought some WGN TV items along, and they're a big hit over here. Anything from home is just so appreciated for guys who are out here on a lengthy deployment so far away.
Tom Negevin in Afghanistan tonight. He's also blogging. If you go to WGNTV.com, you can click on Special Report, Tom Negevin in Afghanistan, where I've got it right there. And you click it on, you can see his blogs on a daily basis. He's already reported day 2 there. So once again, Tom Negevin and his travels in Afghanistan. He'll bring all of his reports back with him, but in the meantime, check out WGNTV.com/Negevin blog for his reports.
A beautiful day in Chicago, and we might be in for a repeat tomorrow.
Tom Skilling has our very summer-like forecast coming right up. An important note about the upcoming digital transition. You may have seen our promos about our DTV Are You Ready special airing tomorrow night. We'll have a live DT Help Center up and running, located in the Kmart on West Addison, right near WGN TV. The Help Center will be open tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can stop by to purchase a converter box, or they'll help you apply for a government coupon worth $40 off a converter box. If you have a DTV question, this is the place to go. Again, the Help Center will be open inside the Kmart, West Addison, tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 10, and we'll have a special tomorrow night on the WGN TV News to explain it all.
You know, I sell tools. Tools are uncomplicated. Nothing complicated about a pair of 10-inch hose clamp pliers. You know what's complicated? Shipping. Shipping's complicated.
Not really. With priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service, shipping's easy. If it fits, it ships anywhere in the country for a low flat rate.
That's not complicated.
No.
Come on.
But a handshake?
Right here, all right.
Priority mail flat rate boxes. Only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
This allergy season, get relief for nasal symptoms and your wallet with Astapro, a prescription antihistamine spray that goes right to the site of nasal allergy symptoms to relieve sneezing, itchy runny nose, and congestion. Go to Astapro.com to learn about a valuable discount card.
If you're allergic to Astapro, Astelin, or Azolastine, don't use it. Also avoid alcohol, sedatives, operating machinery, and driving. Side effects may include unusual taste, nosebleeds, headache, fatigue, and sleepiness.
Ask your doctor about Astapro.
Hey, I want to show you how new Spray and Wash Max with Resolve Power can get out dried-in stains.
Oh, really dry in this stain?
The foaming action breaks up the dried-in stain
even before the wash.
You trust Resolve to remove stains around your home, so try Spray and Wash Max with Resolve Power for your laundry.
When you're on a diet, hungry always seems to get in the way. That's why Weight Watchers created the brand new Momentum program. Now you can conquer hungry and other things that stop you from losing weight. Learn new strategies like choosing filling foods so you don't eat when you're bored, so you can lose weight and keep it off. Show Hungry who's boss.
Join now. Get free registration. Hurry in. Offer ends June 6th.
Weight Watchers. Stop dieting. Start living.
Everyone is at risk for problems with acid erosion. We drink juice, we drink soda, and all of those have a tremendous amount of acidity. And that acidity can wear on the teeth over time. Once the enamel gets worn down, it really can't be put back together. Pronamel and Pronamel for children both have the effect of hardening and remineralizing softened enamel. Pronamel helps prevent acid erosion, as well as helping to prevent cavities. Pronamel can give the ability to counteract the next acid attack and the one after that.
Want your long way to give you more? Well, get on out of that department store and into CoverGirl Outlast. No department store long way gives you so many different ways to last through breakfast, lunch, and dinner. More choices, more shades, more Outlast.
Just gorgeous today.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Two
indeed.
more days. It'll be even warmer tomorrow. We're sticking with our 89 or something awfully close to that.
Be aggressive.
Absolutely. That's right, Mark. I'm telling you, as long as we're going to predict the warmth, let's do it up in style.
I'm telling you.
You know, there were 14 states just west of us that hit 90s today. It was 97 degrees at the Twin Cities, 100 degrees at Granite City, Minnesota. At one point this afternoon, it was 97. Look at our sunset, by the way. A beautiful day. One of the few 100% sunny days we've had so far. And tonight, under the clear skies, the winds are staying up, so we keep the air mixed, and these temperatures are great. We haven't had most of our highs at this level in the last couple of weeks. 69 at O'Hare. South winds are blowing. It's 74 at Midway. The urban heat island effect doing its thing. And temperatures today peaked at 83 at the weather bug sensor at Buffalo Grove. DeKalb hit 82, 81 at Willow Springs and Itasca. It was 80 at all of the major airports in the city, Midway and O'Hare, and also at the lakefront. It hit 80 degrees today, too. There you see the temperatures tonight. This is like summer weather positioned in May. It's fantastic. And it was windy, as it will be tomorrow. And the winds were blowing offshore, so that warmth went right up to the lake and out over the lake, with the whitecaps pretty evident right there at up in the northwestern lakes, up in the chain of lakes area. Spearfish, South Dakota, hit 95 today, one of many near record-breaking temperatures, while the rains continue to pour down in Homestead, Florida. These are some rainfall totals in the Sunshine State today, where it was not very sunny. Daytona Beach, 664. Longwood, Florida, had 653.